Linda will clap for me. She clapped and left. Hello everyone and welcome to a new video. Today we are going to do an individual reading for Yujin, as it is the first member of IVE. For those of you that do not know, in the individual reading we're going to check 4 main areas of her life, which will be her current energy, her career, her love life, and any healing messages that come through at the very end. Now this is going to be a shorter version of what I usually do, so it's a little bit easier to I guess digest, in the sense of like it's a little bit more compact and straightforward. And yeah, with that, let's just jump into the reading, and let's start off by checking. Oh, by the way, the 4 sections will have timestamps and they'll be in the description below in case you want to jump around and check whatever area you're more interested in, and if not, you can just continue watching the video. So we're gonna start off with Yujin's current energy. How is she currently doing? Usually these section tells me what is going on, what she may be thinking of right now, what's her main focus and stuff like that. Okay, so the first 3 cards, we have the Page of Cups reversed, the 3 of Cups upright, and we have the 4 of Pentacles upright. So there seems to be a message coming through about her feelings or her emotions. Something about her past may have not worked out, or she was very curious about something and decided to hold it back a little bit, push it back, or she may be very interested to get to know herself a bit more. Since the Page of Cups is reversed, it seems like it's about her emotions. Seems like she's paying more attention to that. Seems like she's trying to figure out more of what triggers her, what makes her feel good, what makes her feel uncomfortable, or stuff like that. Seems like she's still trying to understand her emotions. Seems like she's still very curious about that side of herself. Cups talk about emotions, they talk about spirituality and being creative. So maybe she could also be this could also be about her creative endeavors, right? Maybe she's about to start a project, but it hasn't really fully taken off. Something's holding her back for sure, and it seems like it's about her emotions or in relation or connection to her emotions. So let's say she wants to work on a project, on a new creative project, but maybe she doesn't feel too confident about it. That's what's holding her back. Or maybe she wants to learn more about herself and how she feels and how she thinks about things, but maybe it's a step that she's not too comfortable with yet, and because of that she's still holding back. So there's definitely something that is kind of blocked, so it's not flowing so easily to her. Messages about her emotions are not flowing. She may not be understanding them that well, or maybe she's neglecting them a little bit. They could be a bit scary for her. But despite that difficulty that she may have encountered in the past, seems like currently at this present moment she's just trying to stay positive. She's trying to stay optimistic and very happy. The 3 of Cups talks about someone that's celebrating. It talks about someone that's having fun with friends and just hanging out and having a good time. So I do feel that currently at her present moment she's doing very well. Her environment seems to be very positive, seems to be filled with very loving and caring people that want to have fun, people that support her, or maybe she, I know IVE is doing pretty well, so I'm pretty sure that because of that she seems to be very happy and she sees all of these things that should be celebrated, and because of that she's not really paying attention to the things that are not fully working for her. She's staying a bit more optimistic and looking more towards the things that are working and the things that should be celebrated, right? She's not trying to ignore those things. She's trying to stay positive for sure. Now the last card that we have right here is the 4 of Pentacles. The 4 of Pentacles talks about someone that's taking care of something that they treasure, something that is very valuable to them, maybe to the point that can be a little bit overwhelming, a little bit, I guess, suffocating in a sense, right? What I mean by that is that it is something that is taking all of her attention. And I think I know what it could be, right? If she is still going through her emotions, trying to learn about herself, trying to work with that side of herself, she may be having a little bit of difficulties moving on from that type of sentiment, and because of that she could be guarding that side of herself a lot. Also, when we talk about Pentacles, in this case we were talking about career, we're talking about health, we're talking about material things, anything that's physical. So yeah, it could be money, it could be possessions, it could be anything along those lines, right? Material possessions. But if we see all of these cards, it kind of feels that she may be very invested in her work and the emotional, I guess, input she has to put in her work. And because of that, she's still working towards all of that to try to figure out how to balance those two sides of herself. Because sometimes, you know, when we have pentacles in water, we have like emotions on one side, and pentacles will be a more practical mind. So I do feel that she could be fighting those two sides of herself, one that is trying to listen to her heart, and the other one that is trying to listen to a more quote-unquote logical or practical side of things. In this case, it will be her career. I do feel that she really treasures her career and her work and her I guess her idle life, and she tries to do a good job, and she tries to, I guess, guard it and treasure it. And it sometimes reaches the point that it could leave her numb. Like, it could leave her in a place where she can't really think about things as clearly as she wishes that she could. Something along those lines. Okay, now that we have her current energy set, let's go on to the next section, which is her, give me a second, her career. We were kind of already talking about that, but let's see what's going on with Yujin's career. We have time with the keyword discipline. Let's see what else. What's going on with Yujin's career? Oh. So I'll take the bottom one of the cards right now. And here we have full moon in Cancer. A personal issue reaches resolution. Okay. So with that Cancer energy, it definitely feels like whatever the issue she may have had in her career, it is something that her emotions are still very, very strong. So I do feel that maybe she could have, you know, I mean, she is a sun in Virgo, so that could, you know, be one way of explaining why she's so emotionally attached to her career. But yeah, when we have a full moon in Cancer, we're talking about someone that is at the peak of their energy. The ruling planet for Cancer is the moon, so I do feel that there's this sense of being in her element. So I guess if we put that in this case, Yujin is very disciplined, or, you know, she's very aware of her career, and she does a very good job, and she has very good time management and all of those things within her career, because that she's in her element. She feels comfortable. It is what she is in a way meant to do. That is what makes her feel very comfortable, makes her feel like she is at home, like she is doing the right thing, like it just works for her because she's in the right environment for her. So I do feel that the career that she's currently in, you know, as an idol, as an artist, is something that she was meant to do. And because of that, it seems like everything is just fated. It seems like she's always in the right place at the right time. It seems like she always has time for everything. It could be very emotionally exhausting, don't get me wrong. With all of these cards, it does feel that there's like this emotional burden that she's carrying, but it's not necessarily because she doesn't like what she's doing. It's just that she cares so much that she may put a lot of stress on herself to make sure that she's doing a good job. So this is not necessarily a bad thing. It's just that it's something that she really, really cares about. So she does put a lot of energy into it, good or bad. But yeah, with a personal issue reaches resolution, I do feel that if there were things that were bothering her in her personal life, they're kind of like getting out of the way, and because of that, she's feeling a lot more comfortable in her career. I do feel that, you know, she could have been someone that worked very hard to get to the point that she's at right now, and now she's surrounded by people that are becoming equals to her, or that have the same goal as she does, and because of that, she feels like she's in alignment with this time. It makes me feel someone that's in alignment. This kind of looks like a brain, so maybe she could be someone that is constantly thinking about time, constantly thinking this has to be done by now, by this time and this other time, and then we have to do this and we have to do that. So I think she's very conscious of her time. She could get a lot of synchronicities through time, so you know, repeated threes, repeated twos, you know, repeating ones and all of that, because she's constantly looking at time. That's one way that maybe her spiritual team communicates with her. I don't know if she understands it or not. That's up to her, honestly. Also, as I was mentioning, it kind of looks like a brain. Like, if you look at it, it kind of looks like a brain. So I think that this could be the first thing that I thought of when I said that was like, you know, she's a big brain. So I do feel that she's very good, not only at managing her time within her career, but she's also very good at just understanding the ins and outs of the situation. I do feel that she could be someone that understands the benefits of waiting, or she's very good at understanding that things just will eventually take its course. Again, there's this sense of she understands fate, or she understands that there's things outside of her power, and because of that gives her even more power, in a way more control of doing well in her career, if that makes sense. But again, it seems like right now she's in a place in her career where she feels very powerful. She feels very emotionally in tuned and connected to what she's doing, and I think it reflects in a sense of happiness, maybe a sense of nervousness because of the pressure she's putting on her career, but at the same time there's this sense of like she really cares about what she's doing. Now I'm gonna take 2 cards just to get more info about Yujin's career, to get just a little bit more info. Oh, that's good. So we have the Knight of Wands reversed, and then we have the Star upright. So we have Sagittarius and Aquarius energy right here. The Knight of Wands reversed kind of tells me that in her career, Yujin is not the type to jump and make things happen. She is a little bit more okay, she looks at the details. There's a word for it. Meticulous? Something. Oh, crap. My editor will help me out because I don't know what the word is. But, someone that looks at the details, someone that, takes her time. Seems like in her career, she just kind of trusts that things are going to work out. With this Star card, is like a dream come true. So she definitely feels like she fits in. She definitely feels like what she's doing is the thing that she was meant to do. She feels very confident and very comfortable where she is at in her career. However, I do have to say that she's not the type that will just jump and make things happen. She's not impulsive necessarily. But with this Knight of Wands reverse, it kind of feels like she's still focusing on adapting and changing. She's still focusing on seeing the bigger picture of her career and the path ahead. It seems like she's always dreaming about bigger things, but she kind of struggles to see how to get to those places. So it definitely feels like with this Knight of Wands, she's not fully there in taking action. She's not fully ready to expand her horizons and show all of these aspects of herself and explore all the potential paths that she has in her career. So all I have to say is that even though she's in the right career for her, as it seems like it just aligns with what she does and abundance seems to just be overflowing, I do feel that there's this sense of it's a matter of time to just eventually come out of her shell and continue expanding into this greater sense of success and knowledge, because I do feel that there's this thing where she's still growing, she's still developing, and she's still learning the craft, if that makes sense. So she still is getting better at her skills, she's polishing all of that, and that will definitely make it easier for her to continue expanding in her career and to continue doing new things, taking on new projects and all of that. So there's this heavy emphasis on potential. There's a lot of potential to continue succeeding in this line of career. So I think there's still, seems like she works very hard so that all the hard work that she puts into her career will eventually be rewarded, if it has not been rewarded yet, if that makes sense. But with this potential, I feel that that's a gift of its own, of a lot of new things still coming in for her. There's still a lot for her to explore and a lot for her to experience, and I do feel that there's just this sense of good things coming in for her. Now, let's go into the other area of her life. So what's going on with Yujin's love life? We have plants with the keyword growth. Let's see what else. Oh, that one came out very quickly. We have 3rd quarter moon. Adjustments are required. So it seems like love's not necessarily a big interest of hers, which I'm not surprised, because a lot of it seemed to be about her career. Yes, we had cups, but to me, it didn't really feel about love. Maybe the Page of Cups reverse could, I guess, show that love may not be her priority, or maybe things are not really working out in love. However, with the plants, it has a keyword growth. So I do feel that there's still a lot of other things that she's focusing on. I mean, she's young, I'm not surprised. Right now, she's focusing on herself, on her career. She's focusing on her 3D world. She's still focusing on becoming confident, on you know, becoming her own stable support. She's still working on the foundations of her life. She's still working on herself. She's still trying to figure out where she stands in life, what she believes in, what she wants to do in the future. And here we have the third quarter moon with adjustments are required. So I do feel that there's still a lot of growth that she has to do. She hasn't fully blossomed. Here we have the number 19. So that is just the end of a cycle, right? She's ending something and starting something else. So she's constantly going through cycles, learning about new things, getting to know herself better. Here we have that she seems to like really be getting into her emotions and venturing into that side of herself about just feeling things and just accepting things for what they are, you know, not judging her heart and her emotions. It seems like she's learning that. She seems to be working on that right now. So if that's the case, that is part of the growth that she's going through. And because of that, I don't think she's too focused on love. I don't think she's too focused on other people or wanting to have romantic relationships with those people, because she's still growing and she's still learning, you know. There's this sense of like maybe she's just experiencing life. Because I saw these lights and I was thinking of like guiding lights, you know, kind of like a North Star, which is kind of like what the story is about, right? Getting a sense of guidance or what path to take and how to get there, if that makes sense. So I do feel that those paths are a symbol of her just experiencing life. So in her love life, there's not necessarily like a person in here. She doesn't seem to really be interested in someone. If anything, with this card, I just sense that she would like someone that is very mature. She will like someone that is very grounded and very stable, and someone that is slow moving. And what I mean by that is someone that is very cautious about the next steps. She doesn't seem to want someone that is very upfront and blunt and action orientated. She seems to want someone that is more of a planner, because it seems like that's what the path that she's taking, right? With this earthy energy, she is just slowly blossoming into who she is. She's not forcing it. She's not pressuring herself. She's just going with the flow in a slow and steady type of fashion. But let's get more info about her love life. I have 2 cards. Oh well. We have Temperance, the 2 of Wands, and I'll take this one that was kind of like sticking out, and the Queen of Pentacles. So there's this sense of finding internal balance with this Temperance card and this Queen of Pentacles. It definitely feels like right now she's focusing on herself. The Queen of Pentacles does feel like a plant that's growing. Actually, if you look at this woman is within the trunk of the tree. It's kind of like it's her life force type of thing. So it definitely feels like right now in her love life, she's focusing more on herself. So this is not necessarily romantic love. This is more about self-love. It definitely feels like she's right now in a place where she's trying to find a sense of balance. Again, we have Sagittarius energy with Temperance, so this definitely feels like she is still learning about herself, trying to get deeper and understanding that bigger picture, what her goals are in her life, what is the long-term ideas that she wants, what are the things that she can do right now, what are the things that she is looking forward to in the future, how does she want things to look like for her. It definitely feels like she's working on that, and because of that, I feel that she's trying to slowly adjust what type of person she needs to be in order to reach those goals and in order to become that person that she wishes she could be, or maybe polishing the person that she already is into becoming even better and improving and growing. Also, I do have to say, when I saw the Queen of Pentacles, usually self-focus and self-love is what I get when I see the Queen of Pentacles reversed. But when I see it upright, it feels like, you know, since she's a leader, this Queen of Pentacles is actually more of someone that is very giving, very caring, and someone that gives a lot to people. In this case, with the Pentacles energy, it could be within her career, but if not, this is just someone that it loves to give gifts, someone that loves to be of support to other people, someone that is very grounded, someone that's very stable, someone that tries to be like that support or like that pillar for other people to rely on and like hold on to if they need help, right? So it definitely feels like right now she's focusing on being a leader. She's focusing on keeping herself in harmony and balance. And it also seems like she's trying to get knowledge. When I see dragons, I automatically think of someone that's trying to gather knowledge from, I guess, ancient knowledge, you could put it that way. Someone that's trying to see things, you know, trying to become wise, trying to see things from a point of view that many people don't really look at or may dismiss very easily because they don't understand it. So it seems like she's trying to see things from a different perspective. But here we have the Two of Wands reversed. So the Two of Wands usually talks about someone that's thinking of taking action, someone that feels like the world is their oyster, someone that feels like they have the world at their fingertips, you know, someone that feels very powerful, someone that feels invincible, someone that's overflowing with confidence to continue moving forward and taking action. But with the Two of Wands reversed, I do feel that it's very similar to this Knight of Wands reverse and this Page of Cups reverse. It definitely feels like she's currently going through a period where she's still trying to be confident about her skills. She may be very confident of where she's going and that she'll get there, but maybe she still doesn't have enough confidence to see that she is on the right path, or that she is the right person, or that she has the skills to get to where she wants, or that she will have all of the things that she needs to get there. I do feel that she lacks that type of confidence, but it definitely feels like it's internal confidence. Like she lacks the ability to see how good she is at what she's doing, and that there's still a lot of potential for her. Like maybe she sees her potential, but she doesn't see like where she's at right now and how that's good enough, if that makes sense. Like she could be very hard on herself as well, and because of that I do feel that sometimes it makes it difficult for her to plan her future, because she's like, oh, I will never get there, or goes like, is that really, you know, how is that possible, how can I get to that point, how can I make that happen, you know. So she's not giving herself the credit that she deserves, because she sometimes puts herself down a little bit. She could see that as a form of, you know, seeing reality for what it is, but sometimes I feel that she could be a little pessimistic because of all the pressure that she puts on herself. Now let's go on to the last section of this reading and figure out any healing messages. We have the Moth Spirit reversed, which says surrender now. We have the Buffalo Spirit with the abundant universe will provide. And I want one more. And we have the Snake Spirit with time to heal reverse. Okay, so with these three cards, the surrender now and the Snake Spirit reversed with a time to heal, it definitely feels like those are reversed because that's something that she's struggling with. There's this sense of like she's aware that there's a balance that she has to go through, which we kind of saw with the love section of her life. It definitely feels like she needs to kind of, with the surrender now, there's this sense of like kind of just going with the flow a little bit, right? Not being too harsh on herself or being too harsh on the process and the experiences that she's going through. There's this sense of like she's doing okay for where she's at, and that's perfectly fine. So I do feel that again, this pressure that she puts on her career, on herself, and because of that there's this sense of having to work on her self-love because of that harsh mentality that she may have. It is something that life is kind of just telling her to kind of surrender, right? To try to give in to those fears, try to give in to that lack mentality, and just accept it for what it is, and try to work through that by doing things one step at a time, giving herself more credit for the work that she does, being able to understand the process for what it is, and not, you know, because there's this sense of like there's this earth energy. She has like a combo of earth and water, right? So she feels a lot and she plans a lot, right? However, there's this, you know, her fire energy is a bit lacking. Also, there's not a single sword in her reading, so that's also something to take into consideration. The fact that all the fire that she has, so all the Wands energy being reversed, kind of shows that she struggles a lot with taking action. She struggles. She may have the motivation, but she sometimes lacks the confidence to push forward. I feel confidence is the issue that she has. It's not necessarily drive or motivation or inspiration that's holding her back. It's the confidence to accept that she can move forward and that she can do things and be a risk taker and dive into the unknown. Also, the lack of swords in her reading can also show that she doesn't have a very clear idea of what she wants, or maybe she doesn't have a very clear idea or a clear path of self-expression. Swords talks about ideas, thoughts, and communication. So I do feel that maybe she doesn't really know how to communicate to herself the truth of the matter. She could have a lot of obstacles within her way of seeing herself and seeing the situation, because she doesn't have an easy inflow of communication. But I feel that could be the reason as to why there's not a single sword in her reading. Anyway, going back to the healing messages. So yeah, there's this sense of like, maybe if she just kind of gave herself into the situation for what it is and just kind of went with the flow and not with the rigid plan that she has for herself, then it will be easier to go through her healing, because again, it seems like she's holding on to something within her career, or she's holding on to her emotions, or like her walls are up somehow, and that gets in the way of her ability to move forward and do things differently, because she's so maybe even stubborn about doing things a certain way and it's not working for her, or like it is working for her but not to the extent where she feels comfortable or confident in the situation. So I do feel that there's this sense, this time of healing, is that sometimes I don't think she's even aware of what she has to do, or she's not even aware that there's something bothering her in the first place. I think she may dismiss it or push it back constantly, so it's kind of piling up. I don't think it's not necessarily something to be super worried about, not necessarily yet, because even if she's pushing it back, she's still kind of working on herself, right? In trying to improve her skills, and by doing that, that should give her a bit more confidence, that should give her a sense of like things are going okay. But it seems like there's still some healing that has to be done, and I do feel that she's on the way to doing that with what we saw in her love section. The other card that we have right here is the Buffalo Spirit with the abundant universe will provide. It definitely feels like she's definitely not alone. There was this sense of fate that we saw in her career, and that still applies with this healing message. It definitely feels like a lot of good things will come through within her career. So may it be success with the music, maybe success with the words. It could just be the fact that she's surrounded by people that she feels comfortable with and confident with, and she has now her own support group as well. People cheering her on, people that are constantly feeding her all of these lovely messages. Those could be things that are helping her become a lot more confident, that are helping her see how her dreams are coming true and how her wishes will manifest into reality. And that could also give her an idea of what she wants in the future, and being able to visualize and plan for something and then slowly manifest it into her reality and feel a lot happier with the situation that she's in. Now, I do have to mention that I'm not saying that she's unhappy with where she's at right now. All I'm saying is that she's been so hard on herself that sometimes she just makes it very difficult for herself to just enjoy the process, because she's constantly trying to become better, trying to improve, and by having that type of mentality, it makes it kind of difficult for her to just see things for what they are and just celebrate the small or the big victories in her life. And by not doing that, that makes it difficult for her to see that she's actually moving forward. She may feel like she's running in place sometimes, and that's the reason why there's this sense of like celebrating is important. If she were to celebrate, she will be able to see what she has accomplished so far. So yeah, if she has some time to like look back and see like the path and the journey that she had to walk to get to where she's at right now, I think she will be able to appreciate a little bit more of all the hard work she has put and how that has all paid off. But yeah, I'll leave that there. I hope you guys like this reading. I hope you enjoyed it, or I hope that you learned from it. I'll see you on the next one, whenever that is. Continue giving IVE a lot of love, and I'll see you on the next one, whenever that is and however that is. Love and healing from my part to you. Thank you so much for watching, and bye.